What I need you to realize is the machine is just a machine. It's made of plastic and metal. Does that make sense? There's nothing on it that can't be replaced. The only thing that can't be replaced on a bike is the person on top of it. That's the unique person, the most valuable asset on the machine. So what I want you to do is consider, if you can't get confident enough to treat the bike like it's a machine, what's going to happen is you're always going to make decisions based on thinking that it's a human. Most people give the bike a name.
Thank you.
Worry about how it's feeling today. It's somebody that has feelings, somebody you should look after. It isn't, it's a machine. And once you learn how the machine works, your ability to use it with control improves. Are you with me? But an emotional attachment is a hard one to break. Machine Control 1 covers stability, changing direction, braking, slow riding, and understanding how grip works. All these things are important. We are definitely a slave to being restricted to ride the bike based on how we feel, until you get to a stage where you realize it doesn't have to be that way. So regardless of how you're feeling, the bike will still continually work the same. So the trick is, we've got to learn, how does the bike work? And essentially what we're going to try and figure out is, how does it work when it's stood still? And how does it work when it's moving? Because it's a very different object. When this bike is stood still, if I wanted to move it to the left, I would lock to the left and move in that direction. Does that make sense? But of course, when a bike is moving, it doesn't work that way anymore. It's total opposite of that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create a safe environment for people of all different levels of experience, all different of riding ability, to be able to come and test out essentially two main things. One, how bikes actually work, how the mechanics of a bike make it work, and combine that with an awareness of how our bodies work. I'd rather you take a very small amount of risk for a huge gain in awareness. That's what I'd like. However, even though it can feel like a very small risk when I'm doing it, when I ask somebody to try it, from their perception, they can feel like, he's asking me to take a massive leap of faith here for what seems like a very small gain. Does that make sense? And what I'm trying to get you to consider is, every little risk I'm asking you to take, if you take it in a safe way, with good instruction and hoping that I can keep you mind focused on what the task is, that small risk you take will give you massive benefits. The way I like to think about it is that our bodies are a machine and the motorcycle is a machine, and essentially what we're trying to do is combine both of those machines together. Only one of the machines can adapt. The other one has to just stay within the realms of what it already has. So what I want you to consider is, when you're accelerating the bike to its maximum acceleration power, we need zero weight on the handlebars. When you're braking to the maximum braking capability of the bike, you're supposed to have zero weight on the handlebars. When you're riding slowly, you're supposed to have zero weight on the handlebars. When you're off the side of the bike doing knee down, if you find yourself needing to do that, you're supposed to have zero weight on the handlebars. If your position requires you to hold on to the handlebars, your position isn't efficient, and there's always going to be a limit to how good you can really get, because you're restricting the bike's ability. But let's first of all understand how changing direction happens, because it's real simple stuff. This tire is exactly the same tires you have on your bikes, in terms of, we all know it's round that way, but it's also round in profile. So when the bike is upright, it'll go straight. That doesn't take any rider input or control. But when you add lean, when you add a small bit of lean to these tires, you get a turn, you get change of directions. Very, very simple, very, very easy to demonstrate. If I want a tight turn, I lean more, it'll turn tight, okay? If I'd like a wide turn, I don't lean as much, it'll do a wide turn. But the principle that governs that is the same, and it all comes down to where the contact patch is sitting on your tire. I'm putting all of my weight through the tire, and I'm simulating cornering forces. It's when I'm cornering, I'm changing direction, and I need more grip, I have it. Now, it's a perfect scenario, and the thing is, this is happening on the front wheel, and it's also happening on the back wheel. You always have grip. When you lean a bike over, you get grip. So the only reason that drama could happen, the only reason that somebody could lose his front end, if at some stage something happens that contradicts the physics of what's going on, and enter the rider into the equation. And our Machine Control 1 and 2 courses, we promote an atmosphere and an environment to allow people to develop as much as they can. That's it. Because if you get good on one bike, you'll be good on all bikes. That makes sense? That's the idea. Give this a try. Don't try too hard. Have fun while you do it. Okay.